Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Regarding question number 1, he's asking what is the range of the function absolute value of x plus 1 plus 3. As we know that the function f of x, when it's equal absolute value of x, it's represented by a letter v that passes through the ocean. What happened here is a kind of translation. Kind of translation when it's positive 1 inside the bracket means that you move to the left 1. And then plus 3 translate up 3 units. So you move up 3. So here is the graph of the function. Notice that maybe next trial we give you the function as a graph. So the least point here is negative 1 and 3. Now he's looking for the range. The range is equal to the y corresponding value. So the y corresponding value is all the values from 3 and above. So it's y greater than 3. But notice that another solution that the least value for any absolute value, is equal to 0. And if there is no value smaller than 0 for the absolute value because it cannot give you negative. So the least value for the function is equal to 0 plus 3, which is equal to 3. So all the range is the number above 3, the number above the 3. Convert the polar coordinates into rectangular coordinates. We mean by the polar coordinates is r and measure of the angle theta, and rectangular is x and y. And the only relation you need to know in Tahisili about the polar and rectangular, that x is equal r cosine the measure of the angle, and y is equal r sine measure of the angle. So if you cannot work with pi over 3, all what you have to do is change it into degrees. So it's going to be 180 over 3, which is equal to 60 degrees. So now I wanted to find the rectangle, I wanted to find x and y. So let's write it. So x is equal r, and the r is equal 5. This is r, and this is theta. 5 cosine the angle, and the angle is 60 degrees. And the y is equal 5 multiply sine angle, and the angle is 60 degrees. Don't forget that before you go to the Tahisili test, you should be aware of the sine and the cosine of the angle 30, sine and the cosine of the angle 60, sine and the cosine of the angle 45. So it's 5 multiply the value of cosine 60 is half, so it's 5 over 2. And sine 60 is root 3 over 2. So 5 multiplied root 3 over 2 is 5 root 3 over 2. My advice for you in these tasribat, that they are not going to give you the same questions, but it will give you the same idea. So he may change the value of the radius, he may change the value of the angle. So the important part is not to copy the questions, is to copy the ideas and study the lesson of these questions again carefully, inshallah, bi'Iznillah. Wish you all the best, inshallah. Regarding question number 3, it's about the parallel lines. And as we can see, this angle is an obtuse angle, but this angle is an acute angle. So of course they are not equal. So don't write equality between them, because one of them is smaller than 90 and the other is greater than 90. So all what you have to do to add them up, and their sum is equal to 180. Their sum is equal to 180. By subtracting 60 from the left and 60 from the right and add the like terms, so 5x is equal to 120, divided both sides by 5, so x is equal to 24. So the right answer is B. He may change the values in the next questions, so you should be aware about it. These two angles, their sum up to 180. Find the derivative. So this is calculus differentiation of the function f of x is equal 3x plus 7. We all know that the derivative of any coefficient of x is equal to the coefficient. And any linear equation, 3x, 7x, 9x, its derivative is the coefficient. And any number, its derivative is 0. So don't forget that. If you have a function and this function is equal 1 or 7 or 3 or even pi, the derivative of this function is equal to 0. Don't forget that if you have a function and this function, for example, equal 13x or negative 7x, the derivative of this function is the coefficient. And what if the function f of x is equal 3x power 2, for example? The derivative in this case that you are going to drag down the power 2, you multiply it by 3, is going to be 6, and you subtract it from the power 1, so 2 minus 1 is 1. Again, you need to revise derivative. If you have a function f of x is equal x power 5, and he asked about the derivative, so you drag down the power down, you drag this power down, so I put down the 5, and I subtract from the 5 1, which is equal to 4. So it's 5x power 4. But the right answer here, of course, is equal to 3. So revise the differentiation. Regarding question number 5, it says which line is parallel to the line. You should know that if two lines are parallel, their slope are their slopes are equal. Mr. Hisham, in the equation 4y plus 12 is equal to x, where is the slope? I need to rearrange the equation in the form of y is equal mx plus b. So 4y subtract 12 from both sides is equal x minus 12. Then I divided here by 4, here, there, by 4, by 4. So y is equal 1 over 4, x minus 12 over 4 is equal to 3. So the slope here is equal 1 over 4. Since the slope is equal to 1 over 4, so the slope of the parallel line is equal 1 over 4. So I'm going to cancel C, I'm going to cancel D, because I'm sure that the slope is not equal to 4. So the answer is A or B. It says that the y-intercept is equal negative 5, and I mean by the y-intercept it's 0 and negative 5. So it passes through the point negative 5, and here is negative 5. So the right answer is B. And don't forget that equation of the straight line is given by y is equal mx plus b, where is m is the slope or the gradient, and b is the y-intercept. Regarding question number 6, it says, what are these angles called? And he have highlighted this one and that one. In any two parallel line, if you have one of the angles is acute angle smaller than 90 and an obtuse angle which its measure greater than 90, the two angles are not equal. Their sum is up to 180. And we all know that the word supplementary, it means that the sum of the two angles is equal to 180. So this one, we call them interior angle supplementary, interior angle supplementary. But what about these two angles? This one, number 1 and number 2. What about them? The place of these two angles is calling alternate exterior. So angle 1 and angle 2 represent alternate exterior. What about the angle 3 and the angle 4? Angle 3 and the angle 4, we call them alternate interior. What about the corresponding like number 1 with number 4, or number 3 with number 2? One above the line and the other above the line of the two parallel line, and one below it or one below it. So you should revise what is the corresponding alternate interior, alternate exterior angle, okay? Because it will not give you the same questions. Trust me, yeah. So like angle 1 and the angle 4, or angle 2 with angle 3. Regarding question number 7, what is the measure of a regular octagon? We know that octagon is a polygon, so the title of this lesson is a polygon. You will find it on my channel, a whole explanation for the polygon. What is the measure of octagon? Octagon is the shape of 8 sides. He may give you next time hexagon or decagon, and sorry for this. Decagon is 10 sides. Nonagon 9 sides. So it could give you decagon. It may not, يعني it's not necessary, yeah, but here is 6 sides. What the rule? What the rule to find the measure of each interior angle? You can follow a simple rule that says that number of sides minus 2 multiplied by 180 divided by the number of sides. So the number of sides is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6 times 180 divided by the number of sides. How I can simplify this? I can divide it by 2 up, it gives me 3. Divided by 2 down, it gives me 4. Divided by 4, it gives me 1. Divided by 4, it gives me 45. 3 multiplied 45 is 135. This is one of the methods. And there is another method if you can follow it on the explanation of the polygon on my channel. Regarding question number 8, it says y inversely proportional with x, and if y is equal 6, then x is equal 5. You should know that you have two cases for proportion. You have direct proportion and you have inverse. All what you need to know that in case of direct, x1 over x2 is equal y1 over y2. But in case of inverse, x1 over x2 is equal y2 divided by y1. So where is x1 and y1? Read the questions and follow the wave of the questions. Inversely proportional to x. If y, so you put here 1, y1 is equal to 6, when x1 is equal to 5. What is the value of x? So this is x2. When y, this is y2. So they are inversely proportional. So I'm going to write that x1 over x2 is equal y2 divided by y1. x2, x1 is equal to 5. And y1 is equal to 6. x2 I'm looking for, and y2 is equal to 10. So I'm looking for x2. Easily, by using mental math steps, 5 multiplied by what to be 10? 5 multiplied by 2. So what the number multiplied by 2 to give me 6? This number should be 3. So the right answer is B. Regarding question number 9, it says the center of the ellipse whose equation is x minus 5 squared over 9 plus y minus 7 squared over 16 is equal to 1. We all know that in case of ellipse, the sign between the two terms is always positive. If it's negative, it's a hyperbola. So this is positive. And to find the center, all what I have to do is to change the sign inside the bracket. If you don't know what do I mean by changing the sign, just write down the equation x minus 5 is equal to 0. So you are going to add 5 to the left and to the right, so x is equal to 5. And y minus 7 is equal to 0. So by adding 7 to the left and right, so y is equal to 7. So the center is 5 and 7. And easily, if the x minus, you take the number as a positive value. If it's x plus, you take the number as a negative value. This regarding question number 9. Regarding question number 8, it says find the fifth term. Fifth term, it means the term number 5 of the sequence 8, 6, 9 over 2, and 27 over 8. So I'm looking for this term. It's 8, 6, 9 over 2, 27 over 8. Since it doesn't say if it's arithmetic or geometric, you need to decide if it's arithmetic or geometric. Are you adding the same number every time? Are you subtracting or you multiply? It's clear for us that you are multiplying. And to figure out the product, it's very easy. If you stop at 9, you will see that you multiply here by 3. And 2, you multiply here by 4. So it means that the common ratio is 3 over 4. Every time you multiply by 3 over 4. So I need to multiply 27 over 8. I want to multiply it by 3 over 4. I'm insisting to write 4 up. So in multiplying the fraction, you multiply up and you multiply down. So 27 by 3 is 81 and 8 by 4 is 32. So the right answer is C. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel so you can get the second part of the explanation for the Tisreebat for 2024, the first trial. Wish you all the best, inshallah, bismillah.